RAAA Conference wrap-up, a little bit of flying in Cairns, and exercise pitch black. What can you expect? And my tips for those that are visiting to make sure you get the most out of it. I'll discuss all this and more coming right up. So strap in and let's get into it.
Good morning, 3614, 95 Mallow 7 POB with Alpha.
Coordinating, Halo and runner, bank, balance, bank pressure rolling at 30 degrees. That's 30 degrees there. Sit by star 9000, 1013, Kilo 25.
G'day everyone and welcome to episode 205 of the Flight Training, the podcast all about flight training and flying in Australia and beyond. I'm your host, Trent Robinson. G'day. Thank you for joining me. Well, there's been a bit going on. Had a great chat with Paul Bennett the other week and had some fantastic feedback that many of you really enjoyed that episode. So thank you so much for his over in the States getting ready for Oshkosh. And you may have seen him post some more images of that beautiful brand new pits. Well, not brand new, but brand new to him, refurbished. And yeah, it should be fantastic to see that show and wishing him all the crew. Yeah, look, I've been doing a bit. It's been busy. I let you know all about, I was going to the RAAA Conference and promised you a bit of feedback. And yeah, look, it was a fantastic event. It had over 300 attend. The RAAA happens every 2 years. Last one was in the Gold Coast, and 2 years from now, the next one's going to be hosted down in Adelaide. But this one was in Cairns. And for those who are not familiar with the RAAA, it's the Regional Aviation Association of Australia, representing regional aviation in every sense of Part 135, 121 operators, regional airlines, refuelers, suppliers, technology, flight schools, insurance, lawyers, everything. So for owners and operators out there, if you are not members of the RAAA, definitely recommend it, not just because of opportunities to meet and go away, but Rob, Natalie and the board there, they just do a fantastic job representing the interests of aviation at a government level, parliament level. They're a very strong body, and I've been doing a lot of talk with them as well of late to really help push the flight training standards and work in that space as well, which they're very keen to do. So flight schools out there, strongly recommend getting on board. But yeah, anyone of interest, you can look up the RAAA and check that out. But the theme for this year was Stronger Together, and we have some fantastic speakers from Laura Bengard and Mike Evans from Marumba Airlines, Angela Garvey, Sue Ann Monkton from Civil Aviation Academy and Sky Careers. Speaking of which, Sky Careers, fantastic STEM program in schools and that sort of thing, and they also do a fantastic podcast, which I'm going to be jumping on very soon as well, for teenagers and people looking at a career in aviation. Some fantastic interviews there, so go and listen to Mark's interviews there. Who else do we have? ATSB, really great presentation there. Rob Sharp from Air Services, and of course Pip Spence from CASA, just to name a few. There was some other fantastic presentations. The notable ones probably with Glenn Stevens, who's the former governor of the Reserve Bank of Australia, and the Macquarie Group, giving his presentation, just exploring the state of the economy and intersections between economic policy making and the aviation sector. And it was actually really quite fascinating, and he linked the two together really well. And then finally, Adam Spencer, if you are a fan of Triple J, or into mathematics, you'll probably be very familiar with Adam Spencer's work. And he did a really interesting presentation on AI and the revolution reshaping industries worldwide and what it's going to mean for regional aviation. So really great convention over 2 days, fantastic gala evening, great networking opportunities, catching up with CEOs and WHOs and HOFOs from flight schools, charter airlines around the country. So a fantastic way for me to keep updating myself, getting to talk to a few of the CEOs, etc., from Marumba and skippers, who else was there? Air North, Alliance, etc. But also other flight schools as well. And just what's going on in the industry and swapping stories and seeing what everybody's being challenged with. And at the gala dinner, I was surprised and honoured with an award. Viva Energy Regional Aviation Encouragement Award. That was presented to me by Mal Sharp, the CEO and owner of Sharp Airlines. And the reward was for recognising an individual or organisation that has demonstrated the commitment to fostering the future of regional aviation through mentoring, training, professional development, innovation, or initiatives that encourage growth and participation within the industry. So thank you, Mal, for that award. It was just a lovely surprise and really, really, made my night. So thank you very much indeed. But the part that wasn't on the original agenda for ultimately was run in tangent with the convention. So we all jumped ship and got into another room, was with the heads of other flight schools and commercial operators, and a discussion with CASA on training quality standards and the challenges that are presenting industry. Very pleased to hear that CASA's Director of Aviation Safety, Pip Spence, now acknowledges that there is a problem with the quality of graduating students and pilot standards in Australia. So it is formally being acknowledged that there is a problem, and we went in with the CASA safety team led by Rowan and Tim Penny there, and it was sort of everything on the table, open discussion, and that's absolutely what was needed. It, of course, led to a bit of chaos at times and jumping around all over the place because there's just so many issues. But everything was noted and taken down, and I truly hope that this is the beginning of the regulator taking steps to improve the situation, as well as industry as a whole. Like I say all the time, I think it's important that CASA push this, encourage this, but we as industry these changes ourselves if we just stop and have a think about things a little bit and maybe change the way we're doing things. As we know, the financial cost to individuals and operators is already huge, but let alone, should more lives be lost as a result of poor training or unsafe operation. One of which is reporting. How do we report unsafe operations, and what's CASA actually going to do about it? Because I know a lot of people have in the past, and it appears that nothing gets done. So these things were all flagged, and I do, really strongly encourage these talks and these discussions. It was the first time for a long time a group of who's and hofos were in the same room since probably, like I keep saying, Safe Skies and things like that. So we used to have the CFI Chief Pilot Conference together, and I strongly encourage that process to happen again because it's so critical to be swapping stories and problems and sharing solutions with each other and working with CASA and industry to have a much more targeted level of change. Trying to do it. As I said before I went, I am one voice, but I need your guys' help as well, as students, as instructors, as pilots, as operators. So please jump on board and all right. Last week, I also went back to Cairns again. So had a couple of weeks back home, and then off to Cairns this time to do some commercial training in a beautiful 206 float plane. And you might have seen a couple of photos on there. Not as many as I thought I'd be posting. And the main reason for that was the weather in Cairns at the moment has been a little bit horrible. The wet season's hanging around or something odd. And yeah, the winds were strong. The cloud was low. The rain was wet and just was not really conducive to doing. Adding to that, obviously Cairns environment. For those that aren't familiar, Cairns is nestled right on the coast, surrounded by mountains, which I don't get to see very often around Darwin because there's only really sand hills. But several thousand feet worth of hard stuff to the south and west and north, I guess. And the 206 on floats, fantastic aeroplane, but she's got a little bit of drag, guys. So 250, 300 odd feet per minute rate of climb. We're not getting over over that terrain anytime fast. Of course, when wind blows over such terrain, it can create mountain waves and sink and all of that. And so we just didn't have the performance to deal with that. Not to mention the water was rough, choppy, and just a really unfortunate timing. As true commercial pilots, we decided to, we did do one flight and got a little bit done. And then we elected, the Tuesday was absolutely rained out. And so we made the difficult decision to head back to sunny skies, and my student came to Darwin with me instead. So he jumped in the 206 I operate up here and got to do some flying around the territory. And that was great. So we got some progress done, but I will be back over in Cairns again to do some float flying and finish off the CPL. And looking forward to doing that soon. A lot of you did a result about float flying and how to go about it and everything else. So I have answered some of you, but sounds like a good idea for an episode, doesn't it? So stay tuned very, very soon, and I'm going to get stuck into that, and we'll talk all about it with a couple of people I know who I think would be very about such topics. All right. What else? I had met Lexi, the head of flying operations at Hinterland, so I'm going to pop over and see them again in a couple of weeks and do some stuff for them. So yeah, it's been a great few weeks, meeting some new operators and some things, and looking forward to it. So now, Darwin, it's been full of jet noise. We've had operations going on all over the place, as far as the F-35s and the F-18s bursting around the place, making noise, causing absolute chaos. And that is Darwin this time of year, where we have multitude of operations and exercises going on. We've had Diamond Storm and Southern Cross going on at the moment with the Japanese Self-Defense Force. Why is it called not the Japanese Air Force? Basically, as a result of World War II, Japan decided basically to never be an aggressor again. So they've been up here training. And then this week, we've got sort of 1 week break. And then everybody's going to be arriving next week for Pitch Black. So what is it? Well, Exercise Pitch Black 2026 starts on the 20th of July through to the 7th of August. And it's going to be bringing together some 100 military aircraft and personnel from 19 nations. It's quite the meetup. So yeah, if you're unfamiliar with it, effectively it's the Royal Australian Air Force's premier international air combat exercise. And it's designed to simulate complex, realistic combat operations, giving participating air forces the opportunity to train and how everybody does things, improve interoperations, and strengthen relationships in one of the largest military training areas anywhere in the world. So you think your little training area at your Metro D is big. Have a look at the Darwin Airspace next week, and you'll see what I'm talking about. There is a lot of red. Luckily, a lot of it follows the CTA steps, so it's not all surface to infinity effectively, but it is a very large area. And look, we've got countries who have got Canada, Fiji, Finland, France, India, Indonesia, Japan, Malaysia, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, the Philippines, the Republic of Korea, Singapore, Spain, Sweden, Thailand, the UK, United States, and of course the Aussies. So if you're into your military, it is definitely the place to be. And it is becoming a bit of a tourist attraction, I guess. I've been watching this Exercise Pitch Black Facebook page, and there are people coming from all over. So if you want to know more about it, the link is going to be in the episode description. But in short, the first week, the 20th to the 26th, is going to be early morning and early afternoon launches. So things get going. If you can imagine, there's aircraft based in Darwin, Tyndall, usually down in Curtin in WA there, and Amberley. So stuff is spread out all over the place. The logistics are huge, and it takes a while to get all these aircraft airborne and then obviously back on the ground again. And if you've been an operator in Darwin, you'll know only too well that it is not uncommon to spend some 1 hour at the for your window to get in and out. And especially during the first week, where a lot of these pilots are just like you guys listening, to be honest. They're only a few 100-hour pilots learning to fly a fighter jet in a foreign country, and you can imagine how that goes sometimes. So it can be a bit of pandemonium sometimes, just at 500 knots instead of the usual 90. And but very cool to see. The 27th to the 30th, early afternoon and late afternoon launches, and then the 3rd to the 6th of August, late afternoon and evening launches. The name Pitch Black comes from, because it is very much traditionally night operations. I think it's a slightly scaled down exercise this year with all the stuff going on in the world at the moment. But apart from just being at the vantage points at either end of the runway and video or something like that, because it's going to be way too hard to describe in an episode, but there are vantage points. But there are two fantastic opportunities to see some of this aircraft in action and up close. The first is the Mindle Beach flying display. So that's going to be on Thursday, the 23rd, and that is on the infamous Mindle Beach with the markets. That'll be all in full swing. And that will be running from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. It's a free community event. No tickets are required, but I strongly suggest you get there early. But all the aircraft will be doing displays, the tankers, flights hanging off them, and some aircraft do solo performances. There's formation flybys. People go out in their boats, and it's just, it's very, very cool. So definitely be there and check that out. And the other, of course, is the RAAA Open Day of August. Now, entry to that is also free. However, tickets, including bus transfers from the parking areas, need to be booked in advance through Try Booking, and I'm pretty sure they are sold out at the moment or issued. The tickets are purely for and crowd estimates. Obviously, they can't really control when people come and go, apart from morning and afternoon, which is how the tickets are sort of broken up. But there's no tickets available at the gate. At least that's what they're saying. I know last year, or last 2024, there were some people let in. Numbers were under control, but look, you can't expect that. There's no parking right on the base. There's no parking access nearby, so you're going to have to work that one out if you've already missed out. But it's a fantastic day, a chance to see these aircraft up close and personal, get to meet military personnel from all around the world. We'll have merch for all the squadrons and countries there. People are swapping patches, buying T-shirts and things, so make sure you got some cash with you. A lot of them do have little Squarespace things or PayPal for payment. So if you're looking to do that, that will work. Plus there's obviously food, drinks, the big tent, I'm pretty sure, which is what they did last time. And yours truly will be there on a display. So I'll be there if you're popping through. Come and say good day. Love to meet you. Might even do some interviews and things on the day or stuff. I don't know. Have some merch for sale. That'd be about time, wouldn't it? But I'll see. Organize something like that if you're interested. And but it's going to be a fantastic week. 3 weeks. It is a bit chaotic and hectic when you're trying to run a business and an operation. But I've tried to rejiggle my training schedule a bit to be in the simulator. But if you're coming up, enjoy. And can't wait to see some photos and videos and stuff online. Bit of the history of the Pitch Black exercise. It started in the early 1980s. And although the RAAF had been conducting major exercises in the territory since the 60s, first official pitch black was held at RAAF Base Williamtown in 1981 as a 3-day air defence exercise before moving to Darwin in 1983. The name pitch black, of course, like I said, comes from the exercise's original emphasis on night flying over the sparsely Northern Australia, and since then it has grown into one of the world's premier multinational air combat exercises. So apart from a few interruptions, including cancellation in 2020 due to COVID, the exercise has been held in the territory every 2 years since 1988. And over that time, more than 20 nations have participated in the most significant military exercise, but also an important opportunity to strengthen those partnerships throughout the Indo-Pacific region. So, yeah, if you are flying into Darwin from anywhere in Australia, make sure you check the NOTAMs, check the AIP supplements. They'll be out there. The Darwin coordinator been running for those departing Darwin. And, make sure you check all your restricted areas and everything else, because the last thing you want to be doing is blasting through that red stuff and bringing the whole thing to a halt. All right. So that's about the state of the nation. So hope that all helps. If you are coming up, like I said, please come and say hello at the stand. I'll be there with the guys from Goonie Bird Adventures and Darwin Flight Training. And it should be a great time. I'm looking forward to doing some more flying this week. I've got some instructor training going on for the staff there at CareFlight, and some check-in training at Arafura. So, going to be a good week indeed with some beautiful weather ahead. All right. If there's anything else you'd like to know, please let me know. Message me. My details are all in the episode note. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, I haven't had a nice review to read for some time. So if you are on iTunes, even if you're not using Apple and you're on Spotify or something else, jump on, leave a note. You can do it on Spotify now too. Leave me a 5-star review. I love reading them. There's so many people that still don't know about the podcast, and everything you guys can do to just help others benefit from the quality content that I am providing is really fantastic and helps me out a lot. And as well as that, if you are loving what you're hearing and it's helping you out, for sort of a coffee a month, you can sign up to Patreon and just make a small financial contribution. It is fully tax deductible, and I would love to have you on board. And I do try and put a little bit of exclusive content or early release content on through Patreon there for the Patreon subscribers as well. If not, you can. I do put other things up there as well that I don't put elsewhere. So it's worth it anyway. So jump on. Again, all the links there in the episode notes. All right, guys, until next time, stay safe, blue skies, and as always, remember the golden rule. Aviate, navigate, communicate.